Hey everyone, it's Duncan Epping, Yellow Bricks, and today I've got something very special in store for you. What I want to show you today is the recovery of an environment that has faced a ransomware attack, unfortunately. So what we've actually done in this particular scenario is we've set up an environment with 4 virtual machines, as you can see, the VMware demo VM 1 to 4, and one of those virtual machines, or potentially even multiple virtual machines, have been breached and have been encrypted. Now, for this particular environment, we had already set up protection groups, we've already set up replication as well, and we made sure that we had a number of snapshots that were replicated to a remote location, because we're going to use those snapshots in the secondary cluster to actually recover the virtual machines. So as you can see, we have 4 virtual machines that are part of this protection group. The protection group has been configured with replication, and of course those 4 virtual machines have been selected to be part of this protection group. The target data store has been selected, and of course we've set up an RPO and a retention for the snapshots as well. So we specified how many snapshots should be created per day, per hour, and whether they should be replicated or not. Now, when we open up the disaster recovery and cyber recovery solution, which of course is VLR, VMware Live Recovery, and we click on the ransomware recovery section, you can also see that what we've done is we've configured the integration with Carbon Black to happen as well. So if you go through the effort of running a ransomware recovery process, Carbon Black is going to be used to scan the data. This could potentially also be CrowdStrike, by the way. So there's support for both Carbon Black as well as CrowdStrike. Now, when we look at this particular protection group, and this is probably your recovery plan, what you probably notice is that it just looks like a normal recovery plan. So it could be used VDR as well, but we're going to use it for ransomware recovery purposes in this case. So we're going to start the ransomware recovery process. Now, when we start the ransomware recovery process, as you can see, we can select one or multiple VMs. In this particular case, we're just going to select one VM. And when we select that virtual machine, we can now all of a sudden select which snapshot we want to recover. As you can see, it gives an indication of where a significant number of changes have occurred and what the entropy rate was of the data as well, so the randomness of the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a snapshot, which potentially, hopefully, is a clean snapshot, and we're going to recover that snapshot into our clean room environment. Now, this clean room environment is a fully isolated environment. So what we want to do during this process, of course, is we want to inject an agent. In this particular case, the Carbon Black agent, but as I said, could also be the CrowdStrike agent, and we're going to analyze the data itself. So we're going to inspect all of the different processes, we're going to scan all of the different files, and on top of that, it's also doing a behavioral analysis. So it's making sure that we don't see processes trying to reach out to left or right, or maybe outside of the environment as well. Now, as you can see, the agent has identified multiple different files which are suspicious. So that is being called out here. And as a result, what we can do is we can badge this particular snapshot as being encrypted or being compromised. And then we're going to select a different snapshot because this snapshot cannot be used for recovery. So we're narrowing down the time slot where we will identify the correct snapshot. As you can see, we see a change rate, we see some entropy. So I'm going to select the snapshot before that, and hopefully that snapshot is clean. Now, the one thing I should point out here is that when we select this particular snapshot, the whole process is going to start from scratch again, meaning that a new agent is going to be injected, and scanning of the data and scanning of all of the processes need to happen from start as well. As you can imagine, that is the case because we've selected a new particular point in time. So we're going to go back down further in time. So we've selected the snapshot, and the snapshot is being scanned, and the snapshot actually is safe in this particular case and is clean. So we're going to mark it as safe and clean as well. And what we can then do next is we can actually restore that particular virtual machine if we want to. Now, the other option that we also have, if we still go through some form of analysis, is that we can open up the network for this particular virtual machine. So we can, for instance, say this particular virtual machine needs to have access to the internet. It's something that potentially would trigger processes to try to reach out to a rogue website, for instance. So if we've done that and we've gone through the whole exercise, what we can then do is we can actually move that virtual machine from the validation state into a state where we can start recovering the virtual machine. So that's what we're doing next. So we're staging the virtual machine, which basically makes the snapshot ready to be recovered. And it moves it out of the isolated clean room, and it allows us to power on that virtual machine in our secondary site as if it's the production virtual machine. Now, when we go through this effort, what actually happens is that the original virtual machine, which was still up and running in the first data center, is going to be powered off, and then the virtual machine that has just been recovered is going to be powered on in the secondary data center. As you can see, the primary data center, the virtual machine has been powered off, vmug demo VM1, and in the remote destination, that virtual machine has now been powered on. So this is a virtual machine which may contain multiple apps that can now be used for production purposes again. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.